Hi everyone, Rob Meads back with another renovation update here at Worthington Country Club. Well, after the latest downpours, I think the club is trying to decide whether we need carts or kayaks. For those of you who are not in the area, we've had an unprecedented amount of rain causing flooding in both Lee and Collier counties. Here at Worthington, we've now exceeded 50 inches of rain in the last 12 weeks. I'll be back in a few minutes with Brian Cannon, our golf course superintendent, to talk about the water levels here and how they're being controlled with the new pump and drainage system. In the meantime, take a look at some drone footage I shot of the driving range lake, and then I'll take you out and show you a few of the holes. This should give you a really good idea of just how high the water levels are. I'll be back in a few minutes with Brian. Well, there you have a quick look at some of the water levels around the golf course. You can easily see how high the lakes are. As promised, I'm with Brian Cannon, our golf course superintendent, to talk a little about these water levels and so on. Brian, I'm a novice at this. I don't know anything about water tables, water levels. Tell us a little about what's going on the golf course with this water.
Well, the water levels have obviously come up, and they continue to go up throughout the days when I'm not able to run the pump. We'll get to that in a minute. But as we pump down the water level in the ground is coming back up. So when I turn off the pump, it's going to seek its own level throughout the community. So I'll have them down to maybe a 13.4. I shut the pump off. The next morning we come in, they're 13.7. Well, yeah, they come up by 3 inches because we're trying to overcome all the water that was put in this area.
Well, that's very interesting because I noticed as I came back today, from what I filmed the other day, the water level seemed higher. Out on 11, the post showed 13.5.
Yes, that is correct, because it is coming up overnight as we have to turn the pump off.
How have you found the new drainage that was put in? Does that seem to be keeping up as best it can?
Oh yeah, we have some issues that they have to fix. They know about them, but as far as the drainage goes, what you see on the golf course now is actually the lake level that has come up through the drain basins. I think the drain basins are at probably 12.1. We're at 13.7, so in some spots we have a foot and a half of water in those basins.
And is that same with the bunkers and the capillary concrete? Is it coming back up through them as well?
On a couple of them there is. We're so high that a lower bunker will have that water rise back up through it because the drainage in the bunker is connected to the drainage in the fairway that goes to the lake.
It's all together.
That is correct.
And when you do pump, where does all this water go? Because right now I don't see any place where it goes.
Okay, the water is pumped out of number 9 lake and it goes over to the aqua range. The bermer on the aqua range is staged to hold that up at a higher level so we can discharge out to the front ditch. And that ditch allows that water to go off of property and then down through the system and eventually out to the Gulf. But here recently I've had the water level up so high in the aqua range that I'm leaking water through the west berm, and as that water leaks through and you see it trailing across the ground, that is a situation where I've got to turn that pump off, let that water level go back down so I do not breach that west berm and have all that water go towards those condos. So we're turning it on and turning it off as we have enough capabilities for that aqua range to hold water.
And I noticed when I was filming the ditch out front, is that what's coming back on hole number 11 over the driving range, leaking back through there?
It is coming underneath the fence or the wall on number 11, yes, but the berm down number 11 prevents that from entering the golf course. There is no drainage hooked to that front drainage ditch, so none of that is actually coming back onto the property.
Got it. Well, Brian, thanks for your information. You know, I know the members see these levels, especially the ones that are here, see these levels coming up and wondering what we're doing about it. So I'm glad something's being done, and obviously time will help heal a lot. And hopefully it'll all drain out.
Yes, the next day or two, I would say that we'll start to go down.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Well, that's Brian Cannon, our golf course superintendent, talking a little about the drainage and the pumps and so on here at the golf course. Let's go out and take a look at some of the positive things going on in the reconstruction. it's obvious everyone is continuing to work very hard to complete the renovation on these final holes. With a break in the weather, look for a lot of progress in next week's video update. My thanks to Brian Cannon for spending a couple of minutes explaining how maintenance is dealing with these high water levels around the course. I do hope this week's video enlightened you to the conditions within Worthington. While we have high water levels, it's insignificant compared to what others are dealing with in Texas. I know I speak for the members of Worthington. Our prayers and thoughts are with those who are surviving catastrophic devastation in Houston. My thanks for watching. Have a safe Labor Day weekend, and I'll see you all next week. This is Rob Meads. Take care.